welcome back to another episode of the Whiskey Diaries. My name is Martin Lang and today we're going to be reviewing the Glenfiddich Age of Discovery. This one is a little bit late to the releases. Basically, this got released in 2013, so about seven years ago right now. It's part of the Age of Discovery that Glenfiddich did, celebrating all the different things that happened when the Portuguese discovered a couple of islands that allowed them to travel around the world and basically started the Age of Discovery. This was in the 15th century, and one of the islands was the Madeira Island. That Madeira Island basically allowed for ships just to port there and just get more water and more food for longer trips. So that's what it basically started the Age of Discovery. Now, Glenfiddich in itself, we have done a few reviews on it. It's one of those whiskies that in the 1960s basically that revolutionized the single malt category. Glenfiddich was the pioneer of pushing whiskey single malts above everybody else. To this day, Glenfiddich is still the biggest single malt seller in the world, and the core range, 12-year-old, 18-year-old, and the 21 and the 15 as well. The whiskies are every day to drink every day. They're not super complex. They don't produce a lot of excitement when you drink them. They're still great whiskies, but they become quite boring after a while. But the beautiful thing about Glenfiddich, and even though that core range can be something that you just get bored about drinking, is that they obviously can make a whiskey. They are really, really good at making whiskey, and they can actually get a little bit more experimental and do really, really good experimental whiskies. In this case, this one in particular, this is a 19-year-old that gets aged for an undisclosed amount of time in American oak and Spanish oak, and then for another period of time in Madeira cask. Madeira cask is a type of fortified wine that gets done in the island of Madeira, and it's kind of like a sweet, strong, really complex type of wine. And the thing that is really interesting about it is that the wine itself, once produced, they put it in a cask and then they heat it inside the cask for 60 degrees. That produces a really complex, really full type of wine, of fortified wine, and it's highly collectible as well. A lot of people love the fact that they can collect that, because Madeira wine, as being a little bit sweeter, it preserves for a long period of time, and the more you preserve it, the more complex it becomes. So the 19-year-old, as I said, part of the Discovery series. You can still find it online in certain places as well. It's not that rare, but they don't produce it anymore, obviously. We thought that it would be a good different whiskey to review, especially since Balvenie has in 2019, last year, releases the stories editions, in which we reviewed the 4 of them. So it's good to go back and see what William Grants have done with different editions. So this one is only bottled at 40% ABV, so it's quite soft, very Glenfiddich-like. But the aromas are actually really complex, and it has that spiciness that you get from the wine, from something like Madeira. And yeah, that's actually really. It almost tastes like marmalade. Like, it's super soft. It's not very punchy on the nose, but on the mouth. But then once you swallow, a lot of complex aromas come through, and it's actually really complex whiskey. The whiskey in itself is quite light for a 19-year-old, but it's absolutely delicious. Definitely recommend it. If you guys want to give us any recommendations or any whiskies that you would like to see review, please make sure you do it on the comments, and we'll see you next time. Slancha.